Community is brought to you by Carriage Crossing Senior Living.
'Tis the season to do the most good and help Hope March On here in our community.
You may have noticed those specific red kettles popping up at various places. And here with all the details, the Salvation Army in Champaign. We have Major Randall Summit and Melissa Wilhelm, Special Events and Development Coordinator, joining us. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is, I know every day is your time of year, but really these days around the holidays, the Salvation Army kind of rises to the forefront.
We do get noticed, yeah. When you're standing outside ringing a bell at people, they do tend to notice you, yes, yeah. And again, we appreciate all the support and all the help that we get from the community because, again, this is when we're trying to raise all that money to do all those good things. And so there's a lot of need out there right now.
Okay, let's talk about some of those things that you do in the community besides just ring bells and collect donations and the red kettles, because you do quite a lot to help out people in need.
Yeah, that's an extensive list. When you get all the numbers together, they start to blend almost, but it works out to about 50-some thousand people we help a year through our food pantry. That's one of the biggest things, helping with food insecurities. It's one of the major things that we do in our community. We help people with homelessness issues as much as we can. We help people with utility assistance and partnering with Ameren and American Water and several other groups. We do things helping people find furniture and housing and help them break the addictions and helping them to break the cycles of being incarcerated. We have a program specifically for that. People who are coming out of prisons, helping them to find jobs and find someplace to live and get back into society. So, yeah, the list goes on and on. It's social services, emergency services. Yeah.
But that takes funds.
I was just saying, Melissa, none of that could happen unless you guys are also bringing in money to do those things. And I would imagine that's where the special events that you work on at least play a part in that.
Absolutely, and none of that could happen without the generous donations from the community through the Salvation Army to provide these wonderful programs that Major Randy is referring to. The Pathway of Hope program is absolutely one of my favorites. That is a fight to really combat generational poverty, a lot of the things that Major Randy was mentioning. Also the veteran services, which is very big for Salvation Army, and the homelessness services, not to mention the emergency disaster unit as well, that we did experience recently in Gibson City with the recent flooding. We were deployed there. The programs and services through the Salvation Army, the list is longer than my arm, so it would take a lot of time to go over each individual program. You know, rental assistance is very big right now as well. They say 1.36 million Americans are facing eviction before the end of the year, and that is a huge thing that the Salvation Army is heavily involved in this year, given that statistic.
Well, and that's why we're going to have some bell ringers out so
Absolutely.
we can collect those donations. You've actually got two examples of some little bells that they get to ring.
Well, yeah, this one. They get to ring this one.
Okay.
This is the pretty bell.
Yep.
This is the obnoxious one. So,
how do you determine?
Yeah, do they get to choose?
not really.
Oh.
We give them the pretty bells.
Oh, I see.
We do have a few other bells out there, but again, we try to do it in a way that attracts people, not repels them.
I understand that there is a proper way to ring the bell.
There is.
Is there a training process that goes into
Not really, but it's just something that you figure out over time because there are people out there, and I will ring it backwards so it doesn't make a loud sound. They'll do this.
Sure.
Well, that's a lot of work. All you got to do is just right at the bottom and just flick your wrist. That's it. That's more than enough to get the sound to where you need to go.
Can Tim try it?
Yeah, I think,
absolutely. Please, hey.
So you're saying we don't need to do the Santa Claus?
No, you don't have to kill somebody. That's it.
Just a little dance.
Straight down for your arm. Flip your wrist. Because you got to imagine that you're standing, of course.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right, that's very nice, and it's louder than you might expect for a bell of such size.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I know Miss Carter in Rantoul is always such a big, you know, supporter of the Red Bells. Didn't get to do it last year. Love her, and she is so excited to be back this winter, collecting those coins in the red kettles for all the good work that you're doing here in the community. And so, how long are the kettles going to be out?
They'll be out till Christmas Eve, about 4 o'clock if you want to get exact about it, but until Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And then we're accepting donations through the end of the year because, again, tax benefits for the tax at the very end. So through the 31st of January.
Okay.
Got one of those gold coins to throw in there. I'm sure they'd appreciate that as well.
We wouldn't turn it away.
We'll connect you with all the details at our website, ciliving.tv. And we do appreciate Carriage Crossing Senior Living for sponsoring today's segment.
Coming up.